Hi everybody, welcome back to still Critical Mass for now, until we decide on a new name, but WandaVision, the first show from the MCU, launching Phase 4, and bringing all the excitement from an Endgame and all that to television, all the characters, and we're all excited for it, and then we saw it's in black and white, and we're really nervous. And the first 2 episodes dropped. Well, let's see what we think. None of us have talked about it yet. Right after this. Did either of you watch any previews or anything of this, trailers or anything ahead of time?
No idea what I was getting into.
The only thing I saw was a black and white picture, like the 50s,
Yeah.
and a thumbnail of a guy who reviewed it because he saw it a couple of days ago somehow, and he said, "Amazing!" That's all. That's everything.
That was the whole thing.
That's everything.
Okay.
I don't trust people who have seen the shows 3 weeks ago and 2 weeks ago before everybody else.
I think somehow it dropped maybe
No, they
some
did.
places early.
The reviewers have all seen it. Some people have all seen 3 episodes already, even though they've only shown 2 for us. Now, they are only about 24 minutes long.
37.
Yeah, but you take out the opening credit thing running, and then the end credit was 4 minutes long. You take that out, it's about 24, 25 minutes in reality
half
of
an
the
hour
show.
show.
It's,
Half an hour show.
and it is in black and white to start. To
Ish.
start-ish. But I think that's part of the narrative of the plot. And they are directly doing Bewitched, I Love Lucy, The Honeymooners, and Dick Van Dyke, those kind of shows. They did emulate those pretty darn well.
They did. So far, though, it reminds me a lot of Pleasantville.
Okay, yeah, same kind of.
I was thinking, okay, come back later if you don't want any spoilers whatsoever.
Yeah, mild spoilers.
Okay, but what they're doing is using the I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke / all those other things in a Truman Show context.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
There's obviously something going on outside of this world that they're experiencing.
so they're living a 50s sitcom life, and they kind of don't know their past, but there are clues here and there that confuse them, and then there's attempted communication with them somehow, and we don't understand that.
Right.
Okay.
So, like through radio transmissions, stuff like that, you're going to hear the real world sort of talking to them, calling out to them. But obviously, there's no way to answer back. So
Yeah. Now, but the majority of the show is if it's like an episode of Dick Van Dyke or Bewitched.
yeah, I was thinking Bewitched the entire
Yeah.
time.
Well, because her magical
magic
powers,
stuff.
kind of thing like that. But what I appreciated for that part of the show is that they were true to actually filming it back then. They didn't use today's technology for a lot of the things. So when you see plates coming across, it looks like there's strings on the plates bringing them like they would have been in that. At one point, they show that they make rings appear. And if you do a movie nowadays where you hold up your hand and you make a ring appear, it's CGI. You just hold, there's no cut, there's no nothing. On this one, you can see the hand move slightly to the left when they did it, when the rings
Yeah.
appear. So they did jump cuts and the split cuts like that. So as somebody who loves and appreciates filming and that, I appreciate that they didn't use the technology. They used the technology from then.
Those little details.
Yeah,
were
that
nice.
kind of made it for me.
Without commenting on whether I enjoyed it or that kind of thing, I have to say that the 50s sitcom I Love Lucy style that it was done in was exact.
Yeah.
It was amazing. The acting was you were sitting watching a 50s show.
Like even
Yeah.
like all of the extra actors, the other people, and the responses to questions and
Ideal.
is exactly how you remember it from shows like I Love Lucy.
Yeah. The cornball expressions.
The neighbor.
The
laugh track.
The misunderstandings and the laugh tracks and things like that. And even the audience responses, ooh,
Yeah.
like this, right?
Or the way if something happens that's out of the ordinary, how everybody looks and everyone's concerned, and then a slight little explanation of what it was, and they're like, oh.
Yeah, the cheesy humor somehow works
Yeah.
because you know it's 50s humor. and it was like, I don't like watching those shows, but they did it so well
Yeah.
that you can't help but see the charm in it.
It was entertaining for me. I enjoyed watching it during the time that I was watching it.
Now, here's the thing, though. It doesn't feel like a superhero show at the moment at all.
This is a big risk.
Like a complete left turn and heading in the other direction.
Like, although, like, I'll watch this because I know it's Marvel, and I anticipate that they're going to get into the superhero stuff. But if you're a 15-year-old kid, are you expecting them to watch through this intro?
I think this is for adults only.
This is definitely targeting the adults.
And the nostalgia in us. It worked in The Mandalorian for nostalgia. People love the nostalgia in it, and I think you were going to say that, right? That's what they're bringing to this.
It's if you were born any time before 1990 or even 1985, you're not interested in this.
No, they're cutting off a huge portion of their audience. A huge portion.
For this show, but they have 10 more coming.
I think
Yeah.
what they're trying to do is they're saying, okay, well, this show is going to appeal to these people. This show is going to appeal to these people. Now we're going to merge them.
Yeah.
And that's how, like, down the road. That's what
Remember,
they're
it's
gonna
on Disney Plus, and they already have a ton of shows for young audience on Disney Plus. They have all the, the dance stars and the young stars that people are out there, High School Musical kind of atmosphere. They have all those. They have the cartoons. They have the animation.
But we're not talking about people who would watch High School Musical. We're talking about 13 to 24-year-olds who are going to look at cheesy black and white 50s remake sitcom and say, I'm out.
I don't know. Everything that's old is new again. People love retro-y stuff. People, and maybe maybe they're calling on that.
Now, so if you looked at just these 2 episodes, you would say they have nothing to do with Marvel. Like other than the 2 main characters, there's nothing in there that suggests any kind of other thing. But they do have hints in the show and Easter eggs in the show.
Like the toaster from Stark Enterprises.
Stark Enterprises.
Stark
Did
Industries?
you notice the watch when they showed the close up of the watch?
The model number on it.
No, the Hydra symbol was on it.
Yeah. Hydra
And
1000.
it said Hydra on it.
Yeah.
So they're hinting at that.
Well, I did mark some lines in it. One said, "Forget about the past. This is your future," and the other one, of course I'm going to forget it, but it was another one. But it looks like they're being indoctrinated into this,
Right,
even with the lines in the show.
And do you notice that every time they say the word children, that the main actors kind of freeze and talk as if they're remembering something?
There's definitely something about children.
Well, yeah,
At the end of the episode,
in the comics, they have kids, and
Yeah.
that's part of the big series. So we may see that in the future as well.
I will say that I
Okay.
really enjoyed Olsen in this compared to even the Avengers movies. Like,
Well, she gets to shine, right? She's like a third, fourth string character.
but this
in the
seems
other
to
ones.
be her wheelhouse.
I would agree with you because I was not liking her in the actual movies.
No. Like, why are they trying to make her such a big deal? I'm not feeling it. But in this one,
She fits.
she's great.
Yeah, she's a good fit.
She looks like, Bewitched. She gets the expressions and the voice tone and everything.
Oh.
Bang on.
And she has nailed the 50s American accent on TV.
Yeah.
That thing. She's nailed it.
And Paul Bettany. I always like him anyway. But he does really good.
He's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I would watch him outside of the Vision costume.
He's like a modern day Dick Van Dyke, but he probably can't dance as well as Dick Van Dyke. But other than that,
well then, I'm out.
Yeah,
he's out.
that's it.
But I think right now, like if I looked at this right now, I go, well, I can kind of take it or leave it. I like the episodes, but I don't know if I'm anticipating too much. But then they start the mystery. And the first episode they showed, oh, by the way, hinting at this, and okay. And then the next episode, a couple more hints that something's going on. And you got to remember, this is only 9 episodes, and now we've already seen 2. So we're 25% through the year already.
Now, are we going to go 8 episodes and then they break out of this world?
We don't know,
Or
or
are they gonna
halfway
go
through.
8 episodes and somehow this world becomes more complicated, but we're still in this 50s world?
So after watching it last night, I let the TV sort of end, and then it comes up and it just has the photographs of what's going on in the series. And there are full color, modern day looking picture, maybe an 80s, because he's wearing sort of like an 80s sweater. I think they're going to jump through time.
Well,
Are they going to go per decade?
Perhaps.
they could, because they just colorized at the end of episode 2.
Right? So now there's color. And
So now we're going to have
I think they're going to leap.
60s sitcoms and then 70s sitcoms.
Yeah. So in this case, I think it's filmed well. I think it's acted well, and they did some great things as far as keeping the continuity for the black and white and the 50s feel and the 60s feel. I think it's the mystery that's going to keep people coming back. Where the mystery of the story is greater than the story, like the show as a whole.
The things that are happening outside of their environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would not go and intentionally watch I Love Lucy.
No.
So they need that mystery to keep me coming back.
Yeah, well, think of the genius of Marvel when they started the first end credits. And leading into the next movie, and leading into the next movie. It anticipated everybody, where it now became a thing of, I have to see every MCU movie. And I think that's what they're trying to do with this mystery. They want everyone to, I gotta see what's happening next. I gotta see what's happening next. Even if you're not that interested in the story, you're gonna go back for the mystery.
Marvel is one for quality.
Yeah.
And this is really innovative. I think it's a huge risk,
Yeah.
but I'm going to stick it out.
So let's see if it pays off, Paul.
Yeah. It's a bold move there, Copper.
This was completely not what I was expecting. Like, I was expecting a return to superhero mayhem, and this is way, way in left field.
See, I think...
Sorry, left field.
There you go. I think, well, this one is, I think this is kind of this, what it's going to be. And then you're going to see Falcon and the Winter Soldier episodes, and it's going to be almost like a cop show, buddy cop show. And I think then you're going to have Loki, that's going to be more of the supernatural coming out.
That's the time traveling or something. Isn't it?
Yeah, so I think they're taking every show and they're going to go in a little bit of a different direction for every single show and try and bring in different people to Disney Plus.
Well, we'll see.
I guess.
Right?
We'll see.
Like if they all came out and they were just Marvel superheroes fighting other villains and that all the time, we'd all get bored. We'd be 10 shows.
I'm already bored of that.
10 shows. Which one do I watch? I don't care. I'll watch the actor I like best then. But if every show is a little different and takes a different spin, I think they're gonna bring in a lot more people that way. So I am nervous about. I'm not nervous about the show. The quality is there and the acting is there. That's not the problem. But wow, it was a bold risk.
I'll say this: I'm curious about what they're hiding, what they're not showing us. I'm still curious about
The mystery. The mystery.
Curious about that mystery.
So, should we keep watching?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Is it worth for our audience to watch?
It's
I
hard to
think
say.
so. I think that our audience would really like this show.
We seem to have an older audience who has probably enjoyed this era. So if they at all enjoyed these shows like you say you have,
Yep.
they're gonna love the start to this series.
Yeah,
Because I don't absolutely love those things, and I thought they did it really well.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely aimed at me because I do own all the Dick Van Dykes and all the I Love Lucy DVDs from the series. So I did spend money on that already, and I love those shows. So this was up my alley. I was a little worried about it, but I think I'm going to watch the next episode. And apparently, little bit of hint, little bit of spoilers, the mystery starts to really unravel in episode 3.
Good.
So I'm anticipating it now, looking forward to it. So our recommendation, give it a shot. WandaVision, not your typical superhero show at all.
No.
At all. But it was enjoyable. It was funny in parts. The acting is great. And tune in for the mystery. I think the mystery is what's going to keep the show going at least this season. And until next time, why not check out some more of our other reviews here on the side, some of our game shows, and eventually we're going to come up with a new name.
Check out the community tab on our page, and there's an entire list of names that I wrote down. See if any of them,
Work.
Jump out at you.
yeah.
Because we have names swimming in our heads right now. So until next time, hey, we'll see you on the channel.